I think we'll have a recession by the end of this year or the beginning of next year, and we'll still have rising food prices and rising energy prices. And unfortunately, the Fed's monetary policy just can't change that.
Two pieces of news have been made by Elon Musk this afternoon. One of them with regard to his view of the economy.
I expect things to be just at a macroeconomic level difficult for at least the next 12 months.
Prepare for the worst, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Don't get too adventurous, like watch out for margin debt.
Turns out that recession everyone was worried about has finally arrived. But right now, it's only for America's rich.
2022 was a year where the stock market was down very sharply, and we started to see home prices turn south.
I think in less than 12 months, Broadcom went down 97%. So like even if you had a small margin loan there, you got crushed.
2023 saw a slight bull rally during the summer, despite rate hikes thanks to a strong and resilient consumer. Regardless of the country's economic standing, many Americans are feeling the pain of inflation and the cost of revenge spending, as even the wealthy are exhausting their savings and are leaning on credit cards to remain afloat in a tough economy.
You can get some pretty extreme things happening in a down market. Like Brett Johnson, who was the CFO of SpaceX, was at Broadcom in 2000. And he said that, and that's a good company making good products. And he said from peak to trough, I think in less than 12 months, Broadcom went down 97%. Dawn breaks roughly in Q2 24, if I were to guess. That's like my best guess.
I think the danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot.
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
They think they know more than they do. And they think they're smarter than they actually are. This tends to plague smart people. They define themselves by their intelligence, and they don't like the idea that a machine can be way smarter than them, so they discount the idea.
It feels like we are the biological bootloader for AI, effectively. We are building it. And then we're building progressively greater intelligence. And the percentage of intelligence that is not human is increasing. And eventually, we will represent a very small percentage of intelligence. And the number of smart humans that are developing AI is also increasing dramatically. I mean, if you look at like the attendance at the AI conferences, they're doubling every year. They're getting full. A small set of individuals has control over advanced AI technology. I think that's very dangerous. It could also get stolen by somebody bad. If AI is much smarter than a person, what do we do?
Yeah.
What job do we have? Freedom consists of the distribution of power and despotism in its concentration. And so I think it's important, if we have this incredible power of AI, that it not be concentrated in the hands of a few and potentially lead to a world that we don't want.
And a lot of the sort of scaremongering around, AI taking over the world, AI doing all of these things that are sort of negative aspects of the technology that we don't control, I think these are a little bit overwrought.
Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes.
Really hard look at climate change and all the effects in our daily lives. And today we're not just talking about how it's impacting our environment, but it's also impacting our brains. We're talking about anxiety, various psychiatric conditions, even suicide. And it sounds harsh and scary, but the research is there, and it's something we really need to talk about, especially when it comes to our kids.
There are 8 billion people on Earth, and it would be better if there were none. Good face, that sounds like total madness. But people, like I said, in the limit of environmentalism, it sort of becomes like an ingrown toenail. You know, it's sort of like, yeah, toenail's fine, but not if it's like warped and ingrown. It's just gone too far. Humanity's not a blight on the face of the Earth, and frankly, even with climate change, life on Earth will still continue. I mean, the calamities that Earth has suffered, where life continued afterwards, like gigantic meteorite impacts, super volcanoes,
the continents drifting all over the place.
Climate change may also cause dangerous wet bulb temperatures to last longer. Wet bulb temperatures could persist for 6 or more hours by 2060, according to a recent study in the Journal of Scientific Advances. That would kill anyone who can't take cover.
Yeah, we don't see the dinosaurs now, but they've had a good run for 100 plus million years. So even if there's catastrophic climate change on Earth, life continues. It just may not be the life as we know it. It may not be humans, it'd be something else. I agree with what you just said, but I also think that the cost of sustainable energy has been dropping tremendously, and you're seeing a lot more wind and solar, and pair that with the battery, and you've got continuous power from wind and solar. That's actually very competitive. It's cost competitive.
But it's easy to get lost in this story. The science is dense and politics get in the way. World leaders are meeting in Madrid to talk about the climate crisis and how to slow it down. And they're under pressure from millions of people around the world calling for concrete action.
I think one of the biggest risks to civilization is the low birth rate and the rapidly declining birth rate. The biggest threat right now is population collapse, the super low birth rate.
Don't we have an overpopulation problem?
No, we have an underpopulation problem.
Really?
Yeah. This is the most commonly misunderstood situation.
Yeah.
This is a holdover from the 70s or something, So there was a huge baby boom where people did have a ton of kids after World War II. But then the birth rate in the US has been below replacement rate since 71 or 72.
Population of Earth is a lot like those stars. In parts of the globe, the human population is already, or will soon be, shrinking.
He said the couple plans to have only one more child out of concern for the environment.
The problem the world will face in 20 years is population collapse.
When the population of people aged 25 to 64 declines or shrinks, it's very difficult for an economy to grow, and the risk of collapse increases dramatically.
Canada had record population growth last year, 96% of which was due to immigration.
Elon Musk has spelled out numerous doomsday scenarios for the 7.9 billion people on our planet. The world's population is expected to virtually stop growing by the end of the century, reaching 10.9 billion people by 2100. Even that estimate is too high for some. Japan is grappling with the labor shortage by having robots care for the elderly in some nursing homes.
It's too late.